Hello everybody and welcome back for another Huddersfield Town transfer update video. Indeed, we all had a very good weekend and wishing you all a positive week ahead. Hopefully a busy one for us Huddersfield Town as we look to strengthen in the attacking areas, midfield and everywhere else. We need a striker, all the attacking positions. We need to get that balance right now and get some more players through the door as soon as we can. Before we do get into it, make sure you do drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are now 20 away now, guys. Can you believe? We are getting closer. So big up to everyone that subscribed over the weekend. I appreciate you all. Also getting your comments as well in this video. Make it relevant to the actual topic, please, if you don't mind. I've kept reiterating that message because a lot of people are just commenting, not actually specifics on the video that I'm posting. So it does get a bit annoying. Like the live shows are there, guys, for you to kind of like bring up new topics. And that's where we're at with it. I don't, and all the updates and stuff and things, as I said, just let me reply to people that are commenting. There's a few people that are just commenting on other people's comments, asking me a question, and they're answering it for me. It's just like, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that, to be honest with you. Now, let's get straight into it then. So to begin with, there has been a bit of an update, obviously, on the potential signing of Preston defender Jack Wmore, which I did obviously do a video about on Friday, reporting the interest that we supposedly had in him. Now, it's come out that £250,000 is the fee rumoured to be enough to secure his services. No official bid has been made yet by the club, but that is imminent. In addition to this, it is led to believe that a 3-year contract will be offered to him to tempt him away from Preston. So you see if we hear anything on this over the next few days. But I did want to kind of give a little bit of an update on that. That's obviously not the main topic of conversation today, but I did want to give a little bit of an update because I did see that was the fee that is rumoured to be the price for him. So yes. But this leads me on to another Preston player we have been linked with at the moment, and that is midfielder Brad Potts, who is our #1 target reportedly, which is very ambitious by the club if this is true. Again, trying to, in terms of trying to sign this guy in. But at the moment, it is believed that Preston are unlikely to sell him. But that doesn't exactly mean that they won't sell him, by the way, guys. It's not completely ruled out, When there's still a small chance of a deal happening, there's always hope. Unlikely doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but it suggests that it's probably going to take a very good offer for them to consider it. That's what I will say on this one. Now, Potts can play in central midfield, but can also operate out wide. He's 31 years of age, so he still has a few years left in him at least. It depends. Some people can play longer, but 34, 35-ish, 30, no, not 34, 35, 36 is probably a lot of people decide to think, what I mean, maybe it's time to retire, but yeah, some people can play longer, but yeah, we've still got a good few years left in him, for sure. He's full of experience. He's made 255 appearances in the Championship and 131 appearances in League One. Availability is also good, I would say. He played 29 games last season, but was averaging 30 plus appearances the past few years prior to that. So, he doesn't get a lot of injuries. So he's more or less available, although last season was different. He did obviously pick up an injury, which obviously ruled him out for a bit. But yeah, So yeah, that's the latest rumour on this one. Obviously, thoughts on this. I think this will be a very good signing, especially at League One level. He's a very valuable player in the Championship, let alone League One. So he's going to excel even more in League One. So yeah, he's a good sign for somebody in the Championship, let alone League One as well. So look, he's a very good player. He's got many qualities. I think he does pose that strong physical presence kind of vibe. Got a good strike on him. But he's also got a very good delivery on him as well into the box. And yeah, he's a very experienced player, but I think he's got a lot of technical abilities that he could bring to the table for us. No doubt about it. I think I've already alluded to. I think it is a very long shot that we actually get him in. By the way, guys, I'm not going to sit here and say let's go after him and let's get him, because it is a long kind of shot at getting him. There's no mistaking that. But there's no harm in the club inquiring about him, is there? Just ask the question. Ask the question to them, and just see if that they will be willing to engage. If you don't do that, then you will never know about trying to sign a player that you want. So yeah, it's worth a try. So yes, absolutely, I would love to see him sign for us, but let's see how this one develops. If there's any concrete kind of maybe a bid or anything, we'll keep track of this this week. See if we hear anything else. Or will it just blow into the sunset? Unfortunately for us, let's see. Now this leads me on to our second target midfield that we're reportedly after if we don't get Potts, and that is Bolton midfielder George Thomason, who plays in midfield, who plays in central midfield. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I was trying to pronounce his name and then I realised that I kind of messed up his surname when I was saying it. But anyway, you can play in central midfield either as a defensive one or play as an attacking one. 24 years of age. His reliability is good. Played 38 and 42 games over the last 2 seasons, which I would say is very, very good, obviously. And yeah, very, very good indeed. Now, when this story kind of dropped over the weekend, it kind of really, we kind of saw very much a split opinion amongst the Bolton fans about him, which I felt like the majority of them they didn't really rate him. That's the kind of impression I got. So maybe it wasn't a split one, but I felt like it was a little bit split because there were still people saying, he's a good player, you know what I mean, and that, and he does offer something. So I would say it was kind of more or less split opinion. But I think for the right price, Thomason could prove to be a clever signing if this kind of transfer comes to light. That being said, obviously, he's still 24, obviously plenty of room to develop, and he does possess some attributes which would really upgrade our midfield, which probably people out there will be saying, well, that's not hard, is it? Because our midfield is dreadful and has been for ages. But we have obviously added the addition of Ledson in that central midfield, so, things are looking better already, but we do need more. So, yeah, obviously he's left-footed, something that we lack in the middle as well, left-footed player. We don't seem to have that in the midfield, in the middle. His work rate and attitude is really good. He obviously was made Bolton captain at just 23, so that shows that he's got, leadership skills, maturity. And yes, that's what you need, and that's what we need at our football club: leadership, more leaders. I know we've signed some players that were brought in already this summer that are leaders, so that has already started to change with the lack of leaders that we've had in previous seasons. But we need as many as we can leaders. You don't. I know obviously captain is the main leader, but you still need other people being a leader on that pitch as well. You can't just rely on one player to lead. But yeah, so that shows that you know, he has got something about him in terms of his, you know, his vocal, his leadership, being made captain at just 23. I think he's a well-rounded midfielder. Would obviously have the most versatile skill set out of our current bunch of midfielders, which again, people say it's not hard. That I agree, but it is. We have to see it for what it is. And he would be, you know, one of those most versatile, you know, of the players that we've got. You know, has ability on the ball, some creative tendencies. However, likes getting stuck in on the defensive side as well. He loves a tackle, sometimes too much, picking up plenty of yellow cards along the way. A change of scenery may help Thomason get back to the levels he showed under Ian Evatt, maybe. If we get that version, then we are really onto a winner here with him. But obviously, there's always a risk that we don't get that version and we get the sloppy, ill-disciplined version we saw at points last season for Bolton. Now, there is obviously good options across the market, so I wouldn't be overpaying to secure this deal. But I would be quite happy to see Thomason in a Town shirt next season if the transfer does come about, you know, and it may be a deal that suits all parties as well. But I don't want to kind of go back to a few things here about the price that he could potentially cost as well, because obviously he did, you know, Bolton did reject a £1 million bid from Bristol in 2023. But he hasn't kicked on as expected since, however. So I don't really think they can be expecting a higher offer than that, really, based on what he's done. So yeah, his value hasn't increased, but they rejected a £1 million bid. So how much did they rate him at that point? That's another question to be asked. But I don't know how much it would take to prize him away from Bolton, but I think it would take a good offer again for him, to be honest with you, because like I said, he has been captain for them, and you know he has, you know, played a lot of games, so I think they would expect that. But for me, I was kind of a little bit put off with the fact that there was a lot of people not rating him at all. But I also saw some people saying he was good as well, and that kind of gave me a little bit of hope. But I would like to see him in the Township next season, but I'm still 50-50 if that makes sense. I'm still sitting on the fence a little bit. If he signed, I wouldn't be like, oh. But if you know what I mean, I wouldn't be like, oh. I wouldn't be annoyed by it, but I would have to see things very quickly from him to stop those doubts of potentially having a player in our hands that just isn't going to do much for us, if that makes sense. So yeah, George Thomason potentially coming to the club, and we'll have to see how this develops as well. But yes, that is your transfer video update today. Gosh, always seem to mess things up sometimes, guys, with what I'm trying to say. But as I always like to say, I never edit out anything in terms of mistakes that I make on camera, because I like it to be authentic. I want to just be real with everything. I don't like to cut things out that I may have gone wrong, because that's just normal to do. But look, thank you for watching. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and let me know your thoughts down below on these potential incomings. Either Brad Potts, or would you be looking at George Thomason as a player to come in? Also, as Jack Wmore seemingly close to a move to the club, let's see how that develops. Let me know your thoughts on that and the fee involved. But thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll be back tomorrow for some more Huddersfield Town content. Until next time, take care, stay safe. As always, up the town, Lee Grant. Bam, yeah. See you later, guys.